No return, no return.
I know.
No return.
I'm like addicted to this one. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Half a Clue TV Review.
Buzz, 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 buzz. buzz.
No return. You will no return. You were just saying it.
I was just singing it. Yes.
Okay. That's yeah.
We're here to discuss
Yellowjackets on Showtime.
Season 1.
It's they're known, network known for Dexter, New Blood, and that's probably it for a lot of people. But I mean, I'm just kidding. But there's Homeland, Penny Dreadful, and stuff like that.
Yeah, go watch Penny Dreadful, man. That show's awesome.
Yeah, Dexter, fuck. We have a bunch of videos on Dexter.
There's a lot of opposing opinions about Dexter. We'll say that much.
Yes. All right. So, Yellowjackets is created and developed by
Ashley Leal and Bart Nickerson,
who are a husband and wife, showrunner, developer couple. They were inspired by the Donner Party in the 1972 Andes flight disaster and influenced by the William Golding Lord of the Flies.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like there's just like they're pulling from a lot, right? Like you said, the Donner Party, there's, of course, being stuck up in the mountains and everything, having to eventually resort to cannibalism. It seems pretty likely that that's where they're going.
Yeah.
They haven't confirmed. I mean, it looks like it. Fuck, like the opening scene. But
No, I think they have. I mean, no,
Yeah.
they directly say, remember when Misty and Jessica were talking?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, so you guys ate people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's true. She's like, yeah, but also obviously it goes much deeper than that. Like
Yes.
it's like they say, like people think what they would understand if you had to just resort to cannibalism. I mean, again, there are real experiences of people who had to do that before, but it seems like it goes way beyond that. Again, them hunting each other in the woods or whatever exactly that is. I mean, we'll get into speculation later, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. I mean, it feels like, from the Donner Party, from the Andes flight disaster, from Lord of the Flies to like even some True Detective elements in there.
Yeah.
It feels almost like, I was expecting the Yellow King to come out at some point, but
They do have the Deer Queen.
yeah,
they have the white deer
The
queen.
Antler
Like,
Queen.
The antler
Yeah.
queen. Yeah, that's the official term. This is why I'm glad that it's and we're gonna get into let's get into development for it when I say I'm gonna be glad. But basically when they say they're gonna make all females Lord of the Flies, which never panned out, like both studios.
Yeah.
There was a lot of negative reaction, and Lyle and Nickerson read the reaction. They were like, oh, why is this such a bad thing? And then they decided to kind of, from that idea, they made the Yellowjackets, which is about a soccer team that crashes in the wilderness for 19 months, and it cuts back and forth between the adult and regular timeline. And they were like, we'll just make the show, fuck it. It's not going to be Lord of the Flies, but it's going to be inspired by it and stuff.
And I think I'm really glad they did go that direction because this is just an original story that takes elements from inspiration from that because, the idea of people being stranded someplace, especially a team of people being stranded someplace and younger people, that does, it's like, it's its own thing, which is really cool. I like it.
Yeah. What's it called? And then do you want to give us some context on the Donner Party and the Andes flight disaster?
Yeah. So the Donner Party was a group of they were, I'm trying to think right now, pioneers that were basically coming over from the East Coast and Central America, just trying to get across, and they cut across to take a shortcut through an extremely treacherous route. There's like a bunch of different reasons why they were not supposed to go there, but they did, trying to basically shave off a couple months, and it ended up just being an absolute disaster in every aspect. Basically, they had to, they got caught up in the mountains, and the only reason that they survived was because a group of them broke off to go find help, and they were thankfully able to find help to come back and bring people to get them back home. The Andes flight disaster was a rugby team from South America that crashed in the Andes and in the worst possible place they could, like other than being like in space or in the middle of the ocean. Like it's the worst possible area where, like, at least in the show, and even for the Donner Party, they were in the woods where there was some resources that they had access to. But in the Andes, on that altitude, it's, extremely high altitude, so there's low oxygen levels, but also there's nothing around but just snow, ice, and rock, and that's pretty much it. And they do reference it at one point in this book about the Donner Party called The Indifferent Stars Above, which I highly recommend. If you have any kind of interest in this, The Indifferent Stars Above is a fantastic book that breaks down the stories of the Donner Party, and there's some reference to the Andes flight disaster, but it's an incredibly harrowing and terrifying tale, and it's true. And so go check that out.
Do you think they will actually ever mention these two incidents by name? in the show
in Yellowjackets.
In future seasons, and it's all connected to that. Can
Yeah,
you imagine? I think they might.
It's all maybe. I mean, I don't see why not.
Like they jump the shark.
Nah. I mean, I don't think that the idea of them all being connected would be jumping the shark, but just the idea of them referencing like you guys. I think they do reference the Andy's flight soccer team, or the rugby team. They say like, just like these guys. Yeah. Everyone understood then, which is not entirely true, by the way. After the rugby team came back, they got a bunch of backlash and social stigmas attached to them for resorting to cannibalism, which is the same thing that happened to the Donner Party. The survivors, some of them were shunned by people or just like really looked down on for having to resort to that, which is complete bull.
Like if they were in the situation, they would have done the same thing.
Anybody, like it's extremely rare for anyone to even know what it's like to go through that level of hunger and desperation. So it's I don't think they ever resorted to like hunting each other.
Yeah, I think that's why
like they do in Yellowjackets.
I think that's the four survivors. That's why they were like they try to keep the cannibalism hidden. So, yeah.
It's like even if they want to let people know that they were cannibalistic, it's like sure we ate each other at some point, but it was more than that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that even comes up in one of the episodes. We'll talk about the political attacks on Taissa. Yeah, and then back to the development thing. Yeah, so they pitched a series to almost everybody. HBO actually almost picked the series up. But apparently HBO is making their own like weird cannibalistic something series or something.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's HBO. They always have weird fucked up shows in development. So that's why they didn't pick it up. They were like this close. They were about to sign the contract, but they were like, unfortunately, we found out there's a project that's just like this one. So we passed.
They just like liked it more or something? Or
No, because I guess I was there first and they had already contract signed and stuff.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so legally or something like that. So, but then, they pitched it around with 35-minute presentation. Gave the whole 5-season plan, so everything's mapped out. Apparently, every single plot detail from beginning to end.
I love that.
Yes, it's unlike
Lost.
Yes, yeah. For a mystery show that doesn't have things plot out, that's a really bad thing.
Absolutely, yeah. I like that again, like Lost, where your frustrations begin. It's like you can tell they had the idea for like the pilot and like probably like the outline for like the first season maybe, and they just had no idea where they're going after that. They've been very open that they just were making it up as they went along pretty much. And for this show to start off that like that mystery aspect of it, but they know where they're going is so crucial and really gives me hope for future seasons.
Right, so that everything is all the setup will be paid off.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's not like filler. I actually, this is one show where it doesn't feel like filler at all. Everything feels like it's gonna culminate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, so Showtime got it. They liked it. They were like, we don't have anything. We're not like HBO. We don't have a million projects pitched to us. So we'll take it. So what was before, like, how much of this show did you know before? How'd you know about the show? How'd you come to it, and what were your thoughts like coming out?
I didn't know anything. I just knew that because we had just done our episodes like on Dexter and everything.
Yeah.
And I knew you were kind of like shopping around Showtime because just like, hey, we have a trial. Let's just keep watching stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
well, I have the chance. And then you were like, dude, you got to watch Yellowjackets. And I was like, okay, I'll check it out. Like, I didn't know anything about it. I just saw like the cover. I didn't even know what the name meant or anything. And then I started watching the show, going into it completely blank. And it just from that first scene immediately sucks you in. And I watched the whole show in like
a couple
2-3 days. I would have watched it in 2 days if I didn't have to wake up early for work. I would say that. But even then I was like, oh man, like I want to finish it, but I didn't get the chance to. But no, it immediately pulled me in and I was invested right away. So yeah.
I heard about it because it was like after our disappointment with Dexter New Blood, I just typed in Showtime and see what they had. And then suddenly, like, in articles and news, they were like, Yellowjackets is tracking better. I mean, like, obviously Dexter New Blood had more viewers, but they were saying second best viewed show on the network and all that stuff and critical acclaim. And I was like, oh, okay.
Nice.
And I like didn't want to research it. The poster looked weird with like I think Ella Purnell's check with the actual like Yellowjacket like
they look filthy. She's like crying and there's a
bee or something.
I'm assuming it's a Yellowjacket.
Yellowjacket. Yeah.
So, and it's like crawling on her face.
So I was like, okay, that looks cool. I don't know what it is, and I watched it and I was like, yeah. And the opening scene, where she gets like hit on spikes and then they are doing cannibalism, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm down for this.
Yeah, I was like, immediately I can see why this has a big following. People love cannibals and shows. So yeah, and then I ended up watching the entire show, and then immediately I was like, okay, we should probably talk about it. And I saw that. Yeah. So now let's just get this out of the way. Elephant out of the room. Dexter New Blood or Yellowjackets? What was more satisfying for you to watch?
Yellowjackets. But I think it's like I was never that huge of a Dexter fan. I mean,
Oh, you sure?
I've enjoyed it, honestly, and I did like it. I even liked the ending, which I know it was very controversial, but I did enjoy the show, New Blood, like quite a bit, honestly. I was a good time watching it, but Yellowjackets just sucked me in, and I'm a sucker for like a good mystery and
Yeah.
like any kind of show that like incorporates that like whodunit element to it. I mean, we just finished watching Scream.
Yeah.
So like I'm all for it, and this has like that like true crime kind of like elements to it, and like that also at the same time like a slight mystical and then the wilderness stuff. Like I don't know, I'm all for it. So yeah, Yellowjackets.
Because we need another show. Like I am not being sarcastic when I say it. We need another show that kind of hits the zeitgeist and is another mystery week to week, like
Yeah.
theory based show. Like I don't count Game of Thrones because that's. I mean, there were theories based on that, but it was more. It was like more fantasy and
Yeah,
who's gonna win. And stuff
It was
like
not. It was not a mystery show. There was plenty to theorize about. Like
Yeah.
there's a million things you could break down and theorize and analyze about that show, but it was not that kind of show. This is very much like there's all these different elements. The closest thing I can think recently is probably True Detective, but again,
that was like
very,
one season.
Yeah, very different. That's one season. You could go and speculate across like that one season as you're watching it, but after it's done, it's done. That's it. With this, the fact that it's going to be 5 seasons. Really cool. It reminds me again a lot of Lost, but the difference is a lot of those questions and theories that people had went absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
because I think I feel like the showrunners were just reading the the different forums and just like, hey, that's a good idea. Let's just do that.
And also like I think like the studio, like David Lindelof talked about how like he wanted to keep it like 12 episodes, 8 episodes, but they were like, we need 24, 16, 18.
Yeesh.
He's like, okay, whatever. But enough about Lost. One day I know because Blake is a super fan. He's one of our hosts, and if they make a Lost revival, he's gonna force us to do.
Unfortunately, one day we'll all do a Lost thing. I also enjoyed Lost when I first watched it because I was a lot of like those people that was like following it and trying to make sure like speculating and everything, and then ultimately to be disappointed. But yeah, this is not that kind of show. Yay, I'm glad.
And it's like yeah, it's nice too, and also like the idea of on like time travel and Lost. We'll try to cut back on the Lost digs.
Yeah.
But the stuff about the 1996 storyline, 2021 storylines, and cutting back and forth and seeing how one informs the other. Even though that was done in True Detective, but I liked how it was done here. Not better, because it's a very different show, but I think it felt like very seamless.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like it again, yeah, it does feel like it's that continuation of it, and there's obviously this huge gray zone of stuff that we just do not know, and in the context that needs to be filled in. But there's so much that it's like I don't know, the mystery is unfolding in the present as like everything else is being informed by the past, and I love that.
Not gonna lie, I think I liked both storylines obviously, but I was way more invested in the 1996 teenage storyline because obviously that's like the big event. But by the end of the show, with and the spoilers are for the entire show, when we find out that Lottie is the one who emptied Travis's account, and we find out that and Natalie gets kidnapped.
Yeah,
and Misty straight up kills Jessica Roberts by poisoning her.
Definitely not her first kill. Like,
no,
I'm not even saying just like
she was involved in the first one.
She's been involved in a lot of kills. I'll say that much, man. There's no way that she's clean. Like since the crash, like she's up to something, man. I love Misty, by the way.
Oh yeah, I know. That's the thing. I was like, I mean, most people really love her, but there's a small section that really think she's annoying. But for the most part, she's like a fan favorite.
Yeah. she's my favorite.
Though I have a criticism, not on the writing of the character, but the casting. I'll go into why.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think I know.
You're talking. We're talking about. I was, and then once Natalie was kidnapped, and the symbols were happening, I was like, okay. I'm like immediately like invested in the present storyline.
Yeah,
like I was already invested, but now I'm like, okay. And we also find out about Taissa, like her fucking like she shot. By the way, fucking shit. They chopped the dog's head off.
Yeah, and carved out its heart and left it on a mantle in like her basement, which I was like, oh, I was totally expecting to see the dead dog. I was like, all right, she's crawling through there. dog's gonna be dead.
And
then I was like, oh
it's
no,
even worse.
Yeah, it's like it's even
worse.
crazier.
Yeah.
I was like, are there gonna be a bunch of dead dogs? And it's like, no.
But it's like worse because it's like you see the hair and stuff. Oh, dude, that's,
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, that's for me how I'm like now equally interested in both storylines. But what about you?
No, I was very much more invested in the 96 story. I was invested though with the present too, like even just like the whole Shauna like having her affair and everything, and Adam and everything like that. That was very engaging, and what Taissa's going through, and like she's also kind of freaking out and stuff. And then Nat and what she's doing, and then and Christina Ricci is as
amazing as Misty.
Yeah, as Misty. Like everything she's doing, I loved all their characters and their dynamic and everything. But I was definitely more interested in what was happening in the past.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, how does that guy die? There's way too many people here from what happens at the end. Like the survivors, there's like even with that snow scene, it seems like there's less people. So most of these people are not going to make it. So I was really just invested in trying to figure out how
and
it
also
was.
Who was the girl that was killed in the first one.
We
that
too.
Figured it out. Yeah,
yeah, because there was speculation. I think most people early on, I was like, okay, that's probably going to be what's her name, Natalie, right? Or not Natalie.
Oh no, they're like this. I mean, we have like the cast list. Some people thought it was Lottie actually because it had black hair. Remember?
Oh yeah, because she had long black hair. Jackie, I thought it was Jackie at first.
Oh, but Jackie had she doesn't have black hair.
No, well, she kind of. Well, I thought like, okay, this takes place a couple months later. Maybe her hair kind of grew out more. I don't know, but I was just like speculating because she had the necklace, of course. I was like, okay, Jackie's dead. Also, the fact that like everyone kind of turned on her right away.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, she's gone, man.
It also could be the other long black hair. We'll get into speculation. It could have been Mari.
Yeah, Mari too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of characters it could be, which is what makes it so fun. But so I was definitely more invested in that. But yeah, by the end, I'm all like, cool. Now both storylines
are equally interesting, intrigued.
They've hit the gas pedal. Let's go. Like I'm ready for season 2.
Like I'm really excited for season 2. Yeah, we'll get into speculations. But let's first get into Misty, the crazy nurse, everybody's favorite. Now I guess a medical psychopath. I honestly I was a little worried about the character when she first came up, the younger teen version.
Yeah.
And I was like, is she gonna grate on my nerves? Is she is this gonna be a little too pestering? But immediately when they in the second episode when they crash, she immediately chops off Coach Ben Scott's leg. Yeah, and then she's like the blood is on her face and she's just like reveling in and she's helping people left and right. And she also takes out the flight recorder. I was like,
she's useful.
Yeah, I was like, she's useful but also dangerous, which is compelling.
Yes. Yeah. I think they just struck such a great balance from both actresses, Christina Ricci and Sammy Hanratty.
Yeah, you know, she was actually auditioned and she was really trying to get Natalie.
Really?
Yeah, which I don't think would have worked because no. She also doesn't look like Julia Lewis at all. Yeah,
but no, I think with Christina Ricci though, both of them, like they just have such a great balance of like showing that like you're scared of her, but you also like you kind of hate her,
but you also sympathize.
You sympathize, yeah.
We've all been lonely at one point.
Yeah, like they have such a good way of balancing it, where it's like you understand how she's really kind of just desperate for acceptance and for love and for like that group and family. So which is what I think lends itself so well to the mystery as it continues, because for a lot of the time, I think like a lot of people too, I was like, okay, it's got to be Misty. Misty's doing this. She killed Travis or something or whatever. And she still possibly could have. But at the same time, there's that level of like...
She genuinely wants to be friends with the other survivors.
Yeah, right? Like she really does actually care about them in her own twisted way. But she seems to genuinely care about them. So she didn't seem as shocked when she found Travis's body. But at the same time, it's like...
She's also a psychopath.
Yeah, she's also kind of crazy. So it's like that could also explain that too. Like, who knows, honestly. I love how like excited she was when Nat was like...
Oh, no, yeah. Nat was like, oh, we're going to go on a road trip together.
No, when she was like, I need you to help me to hide a body. And she's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
she lights up like,
she's like, and you have to use the right type of bleach because the commercial bleach will leave some fingerprints. And,
We've all seen Dexter now.
So. Yeah, I know. She's like, let's not be amateurs, Shauna. Yeah, that scene was great. Yeah, and honestly, those two actors are your favorite part. But the only problem with the casting, and I get why they had to do this, but let's be completely honest. Christina Ricci, like no guy really is interested in Christina Ricci. She's unattractive, really.
She's like, it's because I'm ugly, right? It's like, you're Christina Ricci. Even with like the glasses and the hair, which is like such a common trope in Hollywood, where they're just like, how are we going to make this beautiful woman not look beautiful?
With
Let's
hair.
put glasses and messy hair.
And they even give her like, not like a fat suit, but they try to make her look bigger.
I don't know if they did. I think because she was pregnant during the...
No, but like, well, I mean, like in the legs and stuff.
Oh, in her legs?
Yeah, legs and
maybe.
Well, I guess maybe it's possible. But then, like,
I don't know.
like I saw her like you know when she's like walking on red carpet pregnant or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
She's very thin.
yeah, she's very thin. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
like, but even then,
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, no, she's still Christina Ricci, who like who hasn't had a crush on her since at least Casper. I don't know.
exactly, or Adam's Family or something like
Yeah.
that. And not even gonna lie, it's like even her the teenage Sammy Henratty,
Yeah.
she's not ugly either.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I don't buy the fact that nobody would have. But
Like,
whatever.
because I'm ugly. I mean, I guess you could always just say she's insecure because there are a lot of attractive people
Yeah,
who just
but-
are extremely insecure. But
But in the show, like literally, the men are like, on
that
them.
one dude is like, immediately put off by her.
But you should be lucky, man. Yeah, I was like, you're lucky. No matter how crazy she is, you're lucky to even be in the grace of Christina Ricci.
Yeah, maybe he had that spidey sense to just be like, she's probably gonna kill me.
I will be okay. It's just like I'll be fine. I might die, but I'm with Christina Ricci for 24 hours. Yeah,
Anyway,
all right. So, but yeah, I think she's the MVP. My favorite. And what about the Jessica Roberts part of the storyline? Where I actually like that a lot. When she actually kidnaps and tortures and fucking poisons her. I was like, I was worried that character was gonna be super fucking annoying.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be like grinding. But no, they use her super well. This is why I trust the writers for this show.
yeah.
All the stuff that I feel like would have pissed me off, like Misty initially being grating, or even Jessica Roberts, I was like, they used it all really well to inform the characters or further the plot line.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that even after she let her go, I was like, is she gonna go to the cops or is she like? No, I don't think she's gonna help her like write a book or anything, but like I think that she's
just gonna leave.
Yeah, she's just gonna leave and just be like, F this, like, because it seems like she actually has been through a lot of insane stuff. But as soon as she gave her back her cigarettes, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, see, I think that was the final test. Like even Misty was like, oh, like she threw it away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that was like kind of the thing, like,
It's like, oh, I told you smoking's bad for you. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's just I love that the way that they utilized her, and again, like the way that she was kind of like very clearly manipulating Misty as well. Like she's like trying to like become her friend.
But then Misty always has a
she has a card up her sleeve. She's a wild card.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. No, I loved it. Yeah.
All right, what do you think about? I put Shauna on the outline, but Shauna, Jeff, and the mysterious Adam. All right, first, let me just ask you: do you think Adam is still hot? I know, okay, Adam dies, right? But do you think Adam is actually Javi still?
Okay, so yeah, as I was watching the show, like up until he died, I was like, okay, this has to be like Javi. He grew up, and he showed a lot of interest in Shauna when they were younger.
Yeah.
He the whole diary thing, like the fact that like I don't know, something happened to him out there in the woods. Like, did he die? Did he survive? We don't know yet. I was like, this has to be Javi, man. I was like so gearing for that. But as soon as she stabbed him and she killed him, I was like,
Probably,
oh shit. I was like, I think he's probably innocent.
I
think he's innocent.
He's innocent.
And I think that even the writers like said something like that, where they said like, wouldn't it be really sad if he really was just a guy who actually cared for Shauna? And that just does make it very tragic.
Yeah.
There's still some stuff there that potentially I feel like they could do something more with that. Just the fact that like that he just didn't have a past. Like no one knew who he was.
Do you think it was a red herring? What do you think?
It could have been. It very easily could have been.
Yeah, like they're trying to subvert our expectations.
Yeah, because I mean the fact that like he went missing like right away, like was like a day or 2 days later.
Yeah, people were just like, and he has friends and people care about him, so we're kind of curious to know who that is.
Yeah, so he could have really just been some guy, which makes it so sad. But yeah, I'm curious because that storyline is definitely not going away, not leaving anytime soon, because her daughter knew.
Yeah.
she knew that was her boyfriend.
And Jeff knows. Oh, by the way, Jeff being the blackmailer, I love that a lot. I was like, oh, that's dope.
There's no book club. Like that part was hilarious.
Yeah, I know. I was like, it's like that's been going on a meme lately. Have you seen? Like, it's like out of like Yellowjackets out of context. There's no book club. No. Oh my gosh.
I love that he's like, that's the thing he's most shocked about. He's like, you killed somebody. Oh man. Oh, you guys.
This book club.
You guys do all this? You having an affair? Oh, jeez.
And it's no during book club. Book club session.
That's great.
I like that. I even like Jeff a lot too. He wasn't like this annoying pester, and he was involved in the main plot with the blackmailing session, and now he's very supportive of Shauna. Like he's the opposite of Skylar White, who and as much as I love Breaking Bad, I think what they do with her character, it's kind of mixed.
Yeah.
But I like that Jeff is kind of subverting the expectations. Like he's not just the the other partner.
Yeah,
like he's actually involved in all the events.
Yeah, very much so. Like I like that. Again, yeah, like he's actually directly involved in like the whole blackmailing thing, and I love how she like it kept going back to what is it, Rodney or Roddy?
Oh,
The-
what are you talking about?
His friend.
Oh, Ralph, right, or
Or
something.
no, I was like, I can't remember his name.
Wait, I remember his name. It's Randy.
Randy.
Yeah.
I love that. Like every time they bring up Randy, someone's like, Randy?
I know. Not even like I even like Randy's involved too. Like they're using everybody. There's
Yeah.
no wasted characters.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this like it feels like there's no fucking fat on this meat. It's super lean as fuck.
Yeah, no, it's like it's a very tight knit show. Every different like character arc and moment has purpose to advance the entire plot overall, and that's exactly what you love to see in a show like this. Or just
Showrunners.
any show, anywhere, honestly. But
It's
yeah.
good to have a plot. It's good to plan things out. You
Yeah.
can change things once you realize, but please, it's not that hard.
Yeah, unlike other shows, Baby Dexter, where there's so many B plots that have like nothing to do and they end up going nowhere,
Right.
and it's like no, this actually has purpose, which is great. But no, yeah, no, I love that Jeff is like involved. I love that he's the same boyfriend she had back in the day, and that
Yeah.
he was also connected to
Jackie.
and everything. Because again, it has that weight, and I love that he read the journals and he's
Yeah.
still stuck with her.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like,
and
dude,
there's a deep love and admiration for her.
yeah, he's like the
So
most
likable.
supportive, yeah, dude ever. And it's like you start off and you're like, oh, fuck this guy. Oh, he's a jerk or whatever. And it's like, oh, he's cheating and like what a dick. And then
Find out
eventually
he's not cheating.
yeah, he's not cheating at all. I mean, he was a dummy because he tried to
Borrowed money from the
blackmail them.
yeah.
Like and yeah, he's working with the mafia and everything, but like he actually
Cares and
Yeah.
supports.
yeah, he's making mistakes, you know. He's a bit confused, but he's got the spirit, you know.
Yeah, and he even like defended Shauna in front of Jackie's parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was great. And immediately that's why. And then okay, and that's what was like frustrating about Shauna. I'm like, dude, this guy's like basically like number one husband. Like,
Yeah, he's
in the show.
He's really trying right now.
And you're like still with Adam, but I mean I get why, because you know Adam makes her feel very young and
yeah.
cured and stuff. And, also it's Melanie Linsky, right? Is that how you say the name?
Yeah, I believe so.
What's it called? I'm so sorry. Like Melanie Linsky. I'm just saying Melanie Linsky, but
Yeah.
she's fantastic. Yeah, like,
Yeah, no, she's
fantastic.
great.
It's like one of I think my favorite performance for her.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I love that in an interview, basically they said like, they asked her like how much she knew going into it, and she was like, yeah, well before I signed on, like I was grilling the hell out of them.
Oh yeah. They said that she knows the entire 5-season plan.
Yeah, she was like, I want to know because I don't want to just step into something and be stuck with like basically like a shitty, a shitty story, which I think is totally understandable. But she's like, no, they know what they're doing, and she knows now everything that they're gonna do, which is great. And I feel like if
Gives you
there's
so
one of
much
the
confidence,
characters,
yeah.
who would know that is, I don't know like why, but there's so much more to Shauna than I think
yeah.
we even know yet. So I don't know. She has a lot of potential for good and bad, but like there's a real dark side to her.
Oh yeah.
And I think we've only gotten a hint of it.
I mean, she
so.
fucking killed the rabbit like so easily.
Yeah, both times she killed 2 rabbits.
Oh yeah, she was gonna kill fucking Travis. Which let's get into Natalie and Travis. Yeah, Natalie. I'll say this: I like her character, but she's not my favorite of the survivors. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
A little bit stock. Stock and junkie rehab. Troubled. Character. You know, I mean, rehabilitate and stuff like that.
It comes up.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. Like, it fits with the show and stuff like that. And I actually
I mean,
kind of like.
She has all the right to be really fucked up.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, it is like, but out of all the characters, I think she is not. Hers is the most familiar, I think, in terms of writing tropes. But I still like it. It still fits well with the show. I think they'll improve the character.
Yeah, I think both performances by Juliette Lewis, who's always great,
Yeah, she's fantastic.
and Sophie Thatcher.
She's in Book of Boba Fett, actually.
Really?
Yeah, and the weird thing is, I hated her character in Book of Boba Fett, but here I'm like, this is how you show. It's not the actor's fault. She's fantastic in the show.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, no, I really dig her. I think they both I think all the actresses across the board do such a great job of basically capturing the same essence of their characters from when they were younger to as an adult, but they carry forward, and you totally buy that they're
They're older versions, like whether it's the mannerism or the way they walk or their attitude or even the way they speak.
And they were very detail oriented throughout the show, so that's again, you love to see that.
You love planning. You love that you're not getting jerked around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
Poor Travis.
even though Sophie, I've seen her like from the Yellowjacket, she doesn't really look like Julia Lewis that much.
No.
But they do enough in the show where I buy that she would look like Juliette Lewis as time goes on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's the same with the actress who plays like teenage Shauna, like Sophie Nalisi or whatever.
Yes,
Nalise?
Sophie. Yeah, no, actually, they have some like I could definitely buy that there.
Yeah, but I'm saying like if you've seen her like how she is normally with like
Oh,
out
yeah,
her
she looks- yeah,
contacts
she
and her
looks
hair, she looks completely
completely
different.
different,
Like
yeah.
I was looking her up like on IMDb and I was like, whoa, that's like what a change. And but she really looks like her. But yeah, back to like Travis, I feel so bad for Travis.
Oh,
man.
I know.
Throughout the show, man, like he immediately starts off with like I think probably the biggest emotional punch, the fact that he loses his father.
Yeah, it's
like,
impaled on a fucking tree branch.
yeah, and dude was still alive too. When he went up to climb to the tree,
Yeah.
his father was reaching for him. He was still alive,
Yeah.
and then his weight is what ultimately drops the branch and then kills him again, like right in front of him. It's like, oh my god! And then he's also having to take care of his younger brother.
And it was heartbreaking that
Hobby.
scene where he had to take the ring from the dead body.
Oh yeah, very sad. It's like I mean, he keeps making dumb mistakes, but I think it's understandable, like
The
most
young
of them, because
teen.
yeah, they're young teens, they're dumb, they're still trying to figure it out. Also living through like an incredible tragedy.
Yeah, and he's like, I mean, yeah, he's like, what, like, I think like coming to show, he's like an angry teenager who likes guns, or he at least has like an aptitude for shooting guns.
Yeah,
And he's a virgin, right? I think they say.
yeah, he's a virgin.
And then
Was
yeah, after Jackie and
he
stuff.
almost got assaulted by a group of horny, shroomed up
Yeah,
psychos.
or it's like, yeah, that was crazy.
Like a nightmare fuel, man.
Yeah, one of my favorite sequences about that was like, or it looked visually cool.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it was very well done, and it was terrifying.
Yeah.
I was like,
Their
get
teeth-
out of
their
there,
teeth
man.
too,
Yeah, their eyes are turning black, and they're
Yeah.
just like looking all creepy. They're peeling his skin off. I was like, jeez.
I think, and then you know, we find out that Travis. But wait, actually, let me ask you this. I know like Natalie recognizes Travis, but do you actually think Travis, the adult one, is actually dead, or is that like someone that looks like Travis and they put that body there? Or
Ooh.
like there's that speculation online because they said that like he's such a prominent character, would they really kill him off this way? But
yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say that I think he is actually dead,
Yeah.
and I hope they do keep him dead because I feel like that's just
that adds a little bit more fuel to the fire. And also,
Yeah,
I don't want it to
absolutely.
retread and like. Actually, there's a lot of things. So when we get to character deaths, but they actually think that. Actually, let's just get into now. But they say they have theories that Laura Lee and Jackie might come back.
I could
It
see that.
depending like how far they go into the supernatural stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I could see that like in spiritual form. Like again, at the end of the first season, we see what the guy who's credited as Hunter or whatever
Yeah.
in the cabin with everyone
Yeah,
else.
because Jackie's last scene didn't feel like a last scene. Like it felt like there was something they're going with that. You know, when she had the hallucination before she died, like she saw something. Like how would she know how that guy looked like young?
I hate to go back to Lost, but it reminds me of Lost of like basically when you die on the island, it's very different, of course, than actually dying somewhere else, right? And there's like a chance your spirit or essence or whatever can like live on and kind of show up in like at least in forms or visions or whatever. So I think there's a lot of creative ways they could bring back her character or have her be around. But yeah, like I just hope they don't dive too far into the mystical elements
Not right away.
away.
It has to be like
Yeah.
subtle. Like I think like at the end of season 2, we see Jackie's like whatever spirit. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a good way to end.
Yeah, and what I
Yeah.
love about the show so far too, and even what the writers have said, is that they really want to toe the line between like basically what's explainable and what's not explainable. It's like you can almost explain pretty much everything that's happened in the show so far. You can say Lottie's been having all these like visions and stuff because she's schizophrenic, or because she's actually like connected to some kind of forest spirit thing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie with that one. I feel like it's because she got way too many things right.
Yeah,
She's
I'm like, dude,
probably precog.
a fucking grizzly bear just walked up to her and just allowed her to get stabbed. Which, by the way, when that happened too, I was like, you killed a bear right, man. You just can't just stab it in the hump. That thing is like 8 inches of meat and fat. Like,
Yeah, I know. It's like-
it's
it's
probably still alive. It's suffering. Kill it.
I'm like, it's fucked up. Like this bear sacrificed himself for you, and you can't do the basic favor.
Yeah, kill it
No.
proper. You just learned how to do that.
Yeah.
But no, sorry. Anyway, to go back to the main question. Well, shit. What was the
Okay,
main
so
question?
it says like, do you think Travis is still alive or staying? Or actually,
Oh,
okay,
no.
first, and also, who do you think if he's dead? Who
Yeah.
do you think killed Travis? I think it's Lottie. Probably.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Lottie with
Yeah.
her whole cult, which, again, we don't really know exactly how she survived or what happened after the crash. I think
Or
they
she's
were
probably just still there.
Yeah, she could have still be in the woods. Maybe she didn't want to go back or something, because I think they eventually, looks like they break down into some form of tribalism. So who knows what happens?
Yeah.
Like she could have her own cult, and there's the other survivors. It's like us versus them, you know. Hint, hint. Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. But it's like, yeah, so there's a lot of elements that could go into that. I do think that they probably did kill Travis to weed them out
Yeah.
and everything. So yeah, I don't know.
And
man.
then I think Misty's probably at least somewhat connected because she calls that one friend to get them out of jail.
Yeah,
Is that Lottie or is that? See,
it could be because like Lottie, her whole thing is like her family comes from a lot of money. She's easily like the wealthiest of them all. So that does lead to some questions of like, then why would she empty out Travis's bank accounts if her family already has like a bunch of money? So it's like, there's something else probably going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that like, yeah, I think that Misty is connected to them. Like, I feel like she could be that like inside man with their group. But at the same time, I feel like Misty does really care about these the other girls.
She might be a turncoat later.
Yeah, it's like she seems like she was one of like Lottie's first followers because again, makes sense. She's always looking for that approval and everything else, and she seemed pretty into it by the end of the first episode when they show her face, like after they're killing people, which again tracks with her personality. But I also think that she does seem to really care about the other girls. So
especially Natalie, like she stopped Natalie from relapsing and stuff.
Yeah, which was hilarious, by the way, when she like breaks through the room and she starts snorting the coke.
She's like, I don't even know. I never even know coke. What if I died?
That shit was so funny.
Yeah. See, how do you hate Misty? People like she's not supposed to be a realistic person. Okay.
Yeah, the fact that she'll snort the coke for your friend, that's a true friend. You know?
Exactly. We didn't even. Okay, let's. I guess last thing before we get to Taissa, but what do you think about Laura Lee? Because that's also a weird way she died. Like it started burning up, like specifically her toy.
Yeah, it's like okay, you could make an argument that maybe some part underneath the plane or something like caught fire, and that's what made it seem like it was the thing.
So weird.
Yeah, but I'm like, no, that seemed pretty damn intentional. And like Lottie says, she's like, the forest, like it doesn't want us to leave. So. Yeah, I'm definitely more in the camp that I do think that it actually is like mystical element stuff.
Yeah,
or more like even like The Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah,
where it's like it's a mix of both things of like the trauma and stuff kind of manifests this like these spiritual elements to it, and they kind of like feed into each other.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think it's something like that. So yeah, that was definitely seem mystical. I feel like the forest or whatever thing is keeping them there is
Do you think she's alive?
No.
Yeah. Do you think she's alive or somehow? I don't. Okay, I buy her being more alive than Jackie because Jackie was like dead body.
Yeah. I guess you could make the argument there is the possibility that she like jumped out of the plane
or when she exploded, like she was cushioned. I don't know.
Yeah, somehow she survives.
But
yeah, like I feel like again that's intentional that it's over the lake, not just over like land. Because how many times can you survive a plane crash?
Yeah,
in the middle of the woods. But yeah, I feel like it's more likely she's actually dead.
And she'll come back spirit form or whatever.
Yeah, maybe she'll come back. Yeah, like again, like that spiritual avatar. But when she died, I was like, oh man, she was like your guys' best bet. I think just like in terms of that, like that moment, she's like the power of Christ compels me. I was like, dude, I'm sleeping next to the Bible girl.
Yeah, she'll probably help you or something like that.
I'm sleeping next to her. Like no, and I'm staying the hell away from Lottie.
Oh yeah, Lottie with the seance scene, which is also a great scene. Let's get into Lottie. Actually, I know we're supposed to Taissa, but Lottie's more important right now. But Lottie, we also because he also hint that like. She's out of schizo drugs, right?
Yeah.
But as soon as she's out of schizo drugs, she has more visions. She has she starts in the seance. She starts speaking French and Italian, French, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? And then like birds come in and okay, the fact that the fucking bear was just like there's no way this not schizo.
It's
schizo does not affect bears.
It's like maybe you could make the argument that like that Lottie, that the bear was like sick, like the deer that they show earlier, and it's like filled with maggots and stuff.
But why would it go in front? But no, but then they'd be all fucked from eating it. Then.
Yeah, the meat looked completely fine. It seemed like a completely healthy bear, and it went to sacrifice himself. So I think that she is like attuned to something, or she's one of those like sensitive people or whatever.
Yeah.
So being in this place, she's like
the shining.
Yeah, she's got the shinin. So she definitely seems like she's got something going on there.
I'm very interested in that character as we go on, and we get to our season 2 speculations where we think what's going to happen to her. Now let's get to Taissa. I'm sorry, Taissa, you got the short end of the stick, but
you're a great character.
You are a great character. I like the political stuff. I even like the fact that her when she went political toe to toe with I think it was like Phil Bathurst or something.
Yeah, and
And
she's
then-
so attuned with nature too. I mean, she's eating all the dirt all the time,
I know.
getting her healthy dose of vitamins and minerals. That's great.
Yeah, it's yeah, the sleepwalking. I guess that's the main. I mean, you know, she has a relationship with Simone and Sammy. No one cares about that. I'm just kidding. But okay, actually, Sammy, I'm kind of curious. Like, what's up with Sammy? Do you think he's actually, or do you think he's just actually just?
I think he's also possibly more sensitive too. Like, I think there's, you know, in this world, it seems like people are, you know, got the shinin, the shinin or whatever, and it feels like he could possibly be one of those people. I mean, I like the part where she was like crying and she was like, "I'm really fucking this kid up," and it's like, yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Like, dude, this poor kid sees his mom outside his window, like shoveling dirt in her mouth and just like probably staring at her, and who else? But that's
Yeah,
that's
her sleepwalking is
terrifying.
weird. What do you? Okay, so I know like the first time we saw it, like besides the eating the dirt, like she also like took away Van's necklace and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and then like the wolf started coming and stuff. She's top of the tree.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you think? Because you know she said, "Oh, I can't have that happen again," right? She's talking about like so something happened that we haven't seen in season 1.
Yeah.
That she's she's doing something right. That she did something terrible in her sleepwalking.
Yeah, I mean, well, we already saw she like it seems like it was she was the person that made this this like cult ritual thing
With the dog.
Yeah, like the altar and everything, and I think they're like maybe hinting that's maybe like a sacrifice she made in order for her to win the election. So like because everyone
Yeah,
was
because
like,
she wasn't supposed to win.
yeah, everyone was like, dude, she's gonna lose, like it's crazy, but it's like no, she ended up winning, and that kind of smirk / grin.
Yeah.
Who knows? I think maybe they're gonna do. I've seen some theories that, like perhaps she has like multiple personalities and everything, which
Yeah.
I think is very possible. Like maybe when she sleeps,
She's a completely different person.
yeah, kind of reminds me of like Ali Larter's character from Heroes.
Yeah.
But yeah, like she could go that way too. But yeah, I think she's definitely maybe possibly also sensitive to the
Yeah, it seems like
spiritualness.
she's doing something.
yeah
Yeah. All right, let's get into season 2 speculations. First, okay, let's just talk about who do you think is actually. I think Van's still alive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, okay, because also in one of the drawings that the kid has on his window, there's a red-haired woman
Yeah.
right there, and it's like,
Van's probably somewhere there,
Yeah.
or he sees the ghost or
yeah,
something.
possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like Van's out there I
somewhere.
think,
It's
yeah.
spiritual corporal form, or just like I
Yeah,
don't know.
even the T-shirt that she's wearing, like throughout most of the season, is what one of the girls is wearing at the end when they're standing over the pit girl
Yeah.
and everything. So it's like, okay, that could possibly be her too. And I think she obviously like immediately she's all in on Lottie.
Yeah.
So I think that she's gonna stick with her throughout this, and she could be one of her like top
Lieutenants.
generals or like her right hand or something as they
Yeah.
move forward. Because yeah, I think once wolves eat your face, you know, you get a little more open minded.
Yeah.
Like,
what about theories? I know you read a bunch of theories on Reddit. I read one super wild, but I'll say it after you.
I mean, I don't know, just like I think I've mentioned like most of them honestly.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like the idea that like, you know, the forest is actually like possessing them or whatever, the spirits are joining them. Yeah, I don't know. Like you go. I
think I
said
mentioned a
most
lot
of
of them too. Like the Travis thing I read online that people theorize that he might be still alive.
yeah.
And then because I'm curious what he meant by saying Natalie she was right, or telling Nat she was right. But one was really out there. This is like all endgame stuff where they're like they think like they're gonna go full on leftover style where Lottie's like Jesus Christ incarnate, but like she's a female. She's like a female Jesus Christ incarnate, and she's bringing in the Armageddon or something. And I was like, what the fuck? But look, if they do that, not gonna lie, that's bold as fuck.
Yes.
And they could possibly tease that up.
Yeah, I was gonna say if there's 4 seasons of build up to something like that, then
You go slightly crazier.
yeah, like I could possibly see that happening because that's a lot of time to build to something.
Please don't cancel the show. This is one of your. Please don't fuck this up, Showtime.
Well, they've already confirmed a season 2, right?
Yeah, they already confirmed because it's like fuck. What else? There's nothing else on there. Like it's Californification. We can only watch it so many times. Yeah, I don't know. That's it. Pretty much. It's pretty much all our season 2 speculation. We're weaving that in through the thing, but I think we're gonna see way more members. I think there's actually way more members alive.
I think there's definitely more members alive. I think that like in season 2, or maybe not in season 2, but I think you're definitely gonna see like a divide between people who are Team Lottie and who are not, like amongst the surviving teams.
Yeah.
And they're gonna end up in like some kind of tribal warfare. I've seen speculation that there could be other survivors out there. So maybe if like someone like Annalie survived, she gets captured by other people or something, or she like.
Oh, you mean Laura Lee?
Yeah, sorry, Laura Lee. She basically gets like brought into another group of survivors. I've seen that like the Yellowjackets kind of go to war with another tribe, and that maybe that opening scene that we see is like part of this big tribal ritual where they capture an enemy and then they like dress them up like all white and stuff, which is kind of like, you know, pretty ritualistic, and make them run through the woods and like, you know, they kill her or whatever or something like that. It could be cool because like, again, it's like why would one of the survivors not know where their traps are or something? You know, there's so much they could do with the show. I'm excited.
I am really excited.
Let's go. Season 2.
Season 2.
Buzz.
I hope they go into production soon.
Yeah.
Okay, so final ratings. Let's just give season 1. Honestly, for season 1 goes, this is pretty fantastic. Yeah. I can't say in the museum yet because like I said, I'm waiting for the 4 seasons.
Yes.
But it's on the shelf immediately. I want to own this right away.
Yeah, on the shelf, man. This was so fun. I loved everything from start to finish of the show. I was, again, heavily invested. There was no storyline that I didn't really care about. I was there for it. The music is great. The opening credits are awesome. And yeah, dude. Great casting all around. Oh, we didn't even talk about the man with no eyes. Like,
oh yeah,
what's up with that? But well, I don't know.
It's weird. I don't know. I didn't say anything about it because I don't know what to say about it.
Yeah, I don't mean either. I'm like, dude, was her grandpa was going crazy, and maybe she's just seeing what her grandpa was seeing. She again seems to have some form of sensitivity to stuff. So it's like, who knows? I don't know. What do you guys think about the man with no eyes? I'm very curious to see what other people's theories are. What are yours? What are your theories about what's happening in season 2? Where do you think this is gonna ultimately end up? Is Lottie alive? Is Van alive? Let us know, please.
Thank you guys. Thank you to another episode of Have a Clue TV Review. As always, if you like us, please follow and like us on Instagram, and also we'll be on podcast platforms very soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.